Hello everyone, a Dvar Torah for you to take with you the Shabbos. The Talmud in Avodah Zarah tells us about two non-classical murderers. There's one murderer who murders by opening his mouth, and there's another murderer who murders by closing his mouth. There's one type of person who has not learned enough, does not have enough experience, but yet gives direction and rules when he really shouldn't be because he doesn't have the authority, he doesn't have the wisdom to do so. So he is somebody who murders by opening his mouth when he really should be keeping it closed. And the other type of non-classical murder is somebody who murders by keeping his mouth closed. He really has the wisdom, he really has the experience, but out of false humility he says, "Who am I to tell you what to do?" So he doesn't give people the advice that they need. So he's a murderer as well. He's a murderer by closing his mouth. The Vilna Gaon says that these two types of murderers are hinted to in the "Thou shalt not murder" of the Ten Commandments that we have in this week's parsha. There are two tunes that we have in our tradition to read the Torah. One of them is called Ta'am Tachton, which is the normal way that we read the Torah. And then there's a special tune that we read on certain occasions called Ta'am Elyon. So the Vilna Gaon points out that depending on which song you use to sing the Torah, you'll pronounce the words "Thou shalt not murder" lo sirtzach differently. If you use the regular tune, you'll pronounce it lo sirtzach with a very open sound, which is called a patach, which literally means open because you're opening your mouth. That's how you pronounce it with the tam tachton. And if you use tam elyon, if you use the special tune, you pronounce it lo sirtzach with a more closed vowel called kamatz, which literally means to close. So it says the Vilna Gaon, besides for the actual meaning of the verse, that "Thou shalt not murder," you can't kill somebody, you can't take their life, but hinted to, based on our oral tradition of the two tunes, we have one way to read it, which is a "Thou shalt not kill" with an open mouth, and you have a "Thou shalt not kill" with a closed mouth. What does that mean, to kill with an open mouth or a closed mouth? Says the Vilna Gaon, is hinting to the two types of non-classical murderers that the Talmud talks about. The one who kills by opening his mouth, by giving advice when he really should not be giving advice, and the one who kills by closing his mouth, the one who really has the wisdom and has the experience, but does not advise people and rule the way he really should because he is falsely humble or scared. So all of that, the plain meaning of the verse, "Thou shalt not murder," and the two non-classical murders are hinted to in "Thou shalt not murder" in this week's parsha. Have a great Shabbos.